Good day to all of you. This is the hand of comedy. My name is Randall Ray Thompson. That's Ray with an R-A-E and a heart dotting the E, maybe the A. It depends on if you're writing with bubble letters or not. I own slamdunkjesus.com. I do all manner of dope shit. Most importantly, I am so happy that you are listening today, and welcome to my podcast, Deadass. Yo, I got all manner of like really dope shit going on, and I'm back in Vegas. I was in Atlanta for a little bit. But I'm back in Vegas now, and there's fly shit going on, man. People hit me up to say, Randall, what's going on in Vegas? With the comedy and all of that, man, there's a lot of things going on. It's not just me personally. We're a whole community. We're a whole group of people. We're a mother freaking movement, uh, you know. Um, so there's a lot of stuff going on. So if you're interested in doing comedy in Las Vegas, I suggest you hit up anybody you know in Las Vegas, like duh. And then there's a Facebook group, Las Vegas Comedy. Always hit that up. I try to put as much stuff as I can on my website, slamdunkjesus.com. Once again, with the shameless self-promotion. Uh, so we'll do a couple quick shout outs here because this is one of the episodes that I've had where I haven't had an interview or a guest or anything like that. And so let's go ahead and catch up a bit. Um, I don't know if I'm going to be doing it or not because I may have to do some other types of work, but I'll shout out shows. Yo, my boy Phil Cummings, that's Scratch with a K. He's doing a show at Champagne's in Las Vegas at Champagne's. Um, that's a wonderful old school, really dope ass bar here. One of the classics. That is January 27th, and I may be on that show. I may not. It's uh, it's still a little bit up in the air, but that's on the 27th at 8 p.m. That's going to be from 8 to 10. So go out and totally support that. We got a whole bunch of dope shit happening in Las Vegas, man. Like, I shout out to the people that always shout out me and put me on every Wednesday in Las Vegas, on Las Vegas and Fremont Street, the center of the freaking universe, at the Inspire Theater. They do this show called Laugh War, and that's really dope. So if you like to watch comedy, they got a little bit of a different format. So I suggest going to check that out. And if you go there and you say, you know what, this is a little bit too out of the ordinary for me, that's too sterile for me, or whatever. If you go there and you don't like it, just around the corner up Las Vegas Boulevard and Washington. One of my favorite people in the whole motherfucking world, Melvin Washington, has a show every Wednesday. I believe that starts at 9 p.m. I'll put it this way, show up at 9 because it's not going to start too much later or too much earlier than that. So show up at 9. That's what time comedy shows start, is 9. Clubs do this weird shit where they start at 6:30 or 7, or we start at 8. And I get it, man. Your clubs, and you cater to a different audience. Shout out to the clubs that put me on, that at least show me love, whether I go there or not. Clubs are very nice to me, even if I'm not always available or willing to show up and do that. But what I'm saying is, check out Stateside Lounge every fucking Wednesday. If you want a shout out on my podcast, hey, invite me to your show or come to my show. What is your show, Randall? Every single Thursday at Motor City Cafe. That's 4080 South Paradise Road, between the 24-hour donut shop that is never open and the Indian store that only Indians eat at. That starts every single Thursday at 9 p.m. The signups are 8 p.m. Last week was really dope. I can go ahead and talk about that, man. It was cool to have such a nice mix of comedies. I had, or rather comedians. I had uh, a nice gentleman who was shooting a web series. People shoot their web series, and shout out to you filmmakers and uh, you Renaissance artists that are doing a lot of things. He performs for the Evil Dead musical here, and he came out and he was doing a little bit of his web series stuff. I had Dark Mark, the comedian, come out. He's been doing it for a while. I had some newbies come out. I had a homeboy from New York come out, and then local people that I've seen here that are on all ends of the spectrum. Women, uh, Latino peoples, all this. I'm hitting all the demographics. It was like 10 people there. But yo, it's fun. It's fun to have a place to work out your comedy, man, because people are so judgmental of you. They really, really think that, that you'll invite somebody to a comedy show or to an open mic, or specifically an open mic, because mics aren't shows. You invite somebody to an open mic and that'll like put them off the comedy, whether they say it or not. Like people are very, very judgmental, and comedy is one of the few things where people don't give you a second chance. Like if you're shitty once, motherfuckers won't fuck with you until you do something either entirely different, or you're making money, or you do a movie, or blah blah blah. And it's funny to me. It's like people feel entitled to this thing that everybody thinks they can do. That's what really cracks me up. They feel entitled. Oh, I could do comedy. So when you tell somebody they're shitty at their job, that's like fucked up, because it's like well, I mean, some people is garbage. Let's be real. Some of these niggas is actually ass. Like, stop telling jokes and go play volleyball, ass niggas. But most people, it really just takes a passion for it and wanting to continue to do it and learning and being open and being malleable. And if you can do that, you just got to stick with it. People say comedy's hard. People make comedy hard. They don't ever want to take that responsibility. They don't want to be accountable for the fact that the reason comedy is hard is because a lot of people are funny in their normal shit, but they'll give you a hard time up there. Uh, and the funny thing is, you could go see an open mic for free and motherfuckers won't laugh. But if I pay $40 with a 2 drink minimum after that, then uh, oh yeah, I'm gonna laugh my ass off. Or people be asking for refunds. They feel entitled to this whole thing, and that's cool. That's good for business, man. That that your services are actually appreciated when you can actually dig deep into some things. So all you comics out there, not only stay grinding, but stay up with it. Stay keeping up. Stay plotting. Stay innovating and being fucking enthralling and all of that. This week's episode of the podcast comes to you from Old English 800. I'm like 8 minutes in and I'm still doing promos. That's how the fuck it's going, man. It's how the fuck it's going. It just feels good to be back in Vegas, man. I was out in Atlanta and there was a quote unquote ice storm, and I ain't felt 28 degrees in a minute. I mean, sometimes water on my hands or an ice cream cone, but my environment being such a temperature, that kind of threw me for a loop, being out here in the desert where I think that 70 degrees is a little chilly. If it's under 70, it's cold out here. And it is cold. It is actually fucking cold. Like 70 degrees with no fucking moisture in the air is scary. Once the old E has thinned out your blood and all of that shit. I'm sitting in here on this immaculate horse blanket. Not horse skin or like horse fur, but it's got a design of a horse on it, man. This shit is majestic, man. This shit is very majestic. I'm doing my best these days. We're just going at this. We don't have any topics or anything today. I just wanted to make sure that I got to talk to people and to stay up with y'all and let y'all know what's going on. I've been trying to stay away from video games because I've been trying to stay focused, because I feel like I have to choose one. I have to choose alcohol or video games, because if I do both, you'll never see my black ass. Like the time I spend hanging out, chilling in bars. Bars are great, as long as you know how to shut the fuck up. Bars aren't cool if you one of those hella extroverted people that wants to talk to everybody. Um, and you're drinking. If you're not drinking, then yeah, free reign over the bar. But if you're drinking, which I do, don't hang out in bars, man. It's kind of weird, isn't it? Like it's a little bit weird, And also the repercussions of that is you get to, you fall into bad habits and you spend too much money. And I think that what people need to be focused on right now is not battening down the hatches and saving their money or anything like that. I think as a country, this is my personal opinion. I'm no expert. So, uh, we need to be, out supporting each other, but also working our asses off personally to make things better. We all moving up in this world. Even those people out here that are at rock bottom, the next thing you do is a come up. So you want to, in a residual sense, stay all the way up. And that's kind of my inspiration for this episode. I try to do something like that every time. Take your money and do something better with it. You obviously want to save, right? And do your retirement thing or your emergency fund thing, or even just I'm not flat broke once I pay all my bills thing. You wanna, and I'm not. I'll put it this way. I'm preaching to the choir here because we all like this in some sense or another. That's why we're not all fucking billionaires. Uh, you know, be mindful of what you're doing and have your fun and enjoy your frivolities, but get into it. Really take stock, whether it's an official market or not. Really, really take stock in your life, in your environment, in the things that you care about, and the things that you need, and the things that you believe in. Really, really take your dollars or whatever currency you happen to be using. I don't know how international we are. Take that, at least a portion of that, 1 cent towards it is still, more than zero, and that's still better than zero. Always, always be thinking about the next big thing. We got to be scanners out here, people. Young people, black people, your entrepreneur people, creatives, everybody that's on our side. Dead ass. Everybody that's on our side. Uh, do your best to stay mindful, of the things that can benefit you, of the things that you can come up on, and the things that you can exploit in a good way. Not all exploitation is bad. I have found in myself that sometimes I want to do or not do one thing or another. I guess, you know what I mean? It comes out to my judgment. I want to do things because they're ideal. And instead of focusing on it reaching the ideal, I act according to, well, does this already fit my ideal? And what we're doing, because that's counterproductive, what we're doing here as humans in being, this is not even just about money, in being, we are creating an environment. We're not reinventing an environment. We're not affecting our environment. We are literally creating a world in every moment, every instance of time, however you want to measure it. You are creating a universe, you know. So what you want to do is build upon this universe that you've created. And it's a thing in psychology. Like I said, again, I'm no expert on any of these things. I'm a comedian. I'm a part-time stripper, and I do hair. And I drink and shit like that. But I'm being honest with y'all. Um, we have to build upon what we're doing. But the thing in psychology is eliminating these major moments in our lives and taking each moment for what it really, really is. Now, that's easy to say, but you don't think about the antithesis of that. And the antithesis of that is you could take every moment for what it is and, okay, yeah, I'm taking it one step at a time. It's not about the steps. It's about a whole open world view of each moment you have in your life, uh, beyond your perception of yourself or the world or your biases or your experiences or anything like that. What you really got to get to is taking these big moments out of your life. Like for me, an example, like me, myself, that's all I can really talk about candidly. I could say, oh, well, I started on the stage at this age, or my mother has died, or I moved to this town in this year, and we make chapters for ourselves. And you have to understand that chapters are for books, chapters are for DVDs, and we don't even really fuck with those anymore. You can't chapter and chronicle your life. You're not that important. The only way that you could even come close to being on that level of importance and justifying that amount of arrogance, to be completely honest with it, is to take everything and wash it away and also just like again build upon it. Your happiness and your prosperity and your everything is not quantifiable by you or by anybody else. It's not really quantifiable because, like, what do you have to measure it against? So happiness is fiat, it is fake, it is fugazi, and that should make you happy. Now, see how I just make you depressed and bring you all the way down, and then tell you that actually, you know what? For that attitude right there, you're better than other people. That is the Randall Thompson way. That is the way, man. But I'm being dead ass serious. You gotta not take yourself so seriously. You gotta take everything as brand new, not as it comes. You gotta go. If that makes sense. I'm not big on slogans. It's one thing I've learned from or not learned, but rather I agree with, from Noam Chomsky, is the danger of slogans. Slogans uh, reinforce and propagate, many things, but in these times, tribalism. And tribalism in this day and age is a tool used by, let's say, the powers that be. I hate to be so vague with something like that, but the people higher up, what we call the Illuminati or the 1% or the fat cats or the kings, whatever. You understand where you live in this fucking, sometimes, feudal system, if you want to look at it that way. You really, really have to. You just got to keep it real with yourself. Like that. Like, keep it real. Don't get hung up on the bullshit. If there is something, and this would be kind of the end of the inspirational part of the podcast, if there's something that you want to do and you think, man, that'll never get done, stop being a bitch. Because just because it will never get done in your lifetime, or because it won't get done before you're 40 or before you're 30 or whatever, don't put it on a timeline. If there's something that you want to see in this world, understand that there's 7 billion other people here and growing. So you have to go ahead and put that shit into the ether, man. The people that we all look up to, the people that we find important, do what they do because it feels right to them. It doesn't always have to feel good, but do what feels right. Your attitude is the only thing between you and what it is you're trying to get, man. So you do the right way of thinking, and you talk the right way, and you eat the right way, and you go the right way, so on and so forth. It's gonna get there. You don't have to be the end. Be the fucking beginning. You feel me? I know y'all feel me. Let me take a sip of this drink right here. I want to talk about something that is very, very serious to me, and I'm not sure how to bring it up. I I'm a little embarrassed about the whole thing. Honestly, well, I should practice what I preach again and just get to it. I've been taking my earphones out of my ears way too motherfucking fast. I've been doing that. I've been doing it too fast. And yesterday, I don't know when it was, I don't know where it was, but I snatched my earphones out too fast. And a few hours went by, maybe about 5 or 6, and I went to put my earphones on, and like the actual little latex condom that they put on the earbuds now on the headphones, that shit was missing, and I panicked. I panicked like I was about to do all manner of shit, and I set myself back. I set myself back an hour and a half looking for this little piece of rubber that keeps my ear connected to my fucking sound. Like I really, really fucking did that. And it's fucked up because I had one and it was on the microphone side of my headphones. I was like, whew, thank God. But I was like, fuck, I'm gonna have to pay for another one of these things. Just to let y'all know my socioeconomic status. That I'm literally I rearranged all the furniture in my apartment. This was after about 2 or 3 hours of cleaning. Like I did a nice deep clean and shit. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go get myself a beer, stroll on up to the store, don't drink and drive, all that shit. I was doing everything right. I even avoid playing Skyrim because that shit will fucking drain your life. And next thing I know, it's been an hour and a half of me just lifting up my couch looking for something that I didn't see the second, third, or fourth time. Like, yo, losing a fucking earbud. I can only imagine what would happen if somebody called my son a nigger. Like, like I'd demolish your house, you know, because it's on a whole different level. But it's like I lost the earbud, man. Like, I actually stole one. I stole one, and this is where I learned, or rather, I didn't learn, but I had another foray into a purse. I said maybe my girlfriend has some earbuds, and as a person that loves music and rides the bus and walks around a lot, and likes to like jump rope and all of that stuff, headphones are important. And I opened up my girlfriend's purse to see if she had any headphones. She had 5 pairs of headphones, all tangled up into this one big ass knot, and all but one of them was missing one earbud. Because there was a part of me where I was just like, this bitch done stole my earbud. She done stole it to put it on her headphones. Come to find out, she had fucking 7 on some headphones that I don't know, like how that was even efficient. You know, you could just wrap these things up very easily. They untie very easily. You know, they have technology to keep the strings flat and all the other shit, or rather the wires. Uh, Wires are just metal strings. Did you know that? You call it copper wire. I call it string. It's just the whole shit is fucked up. Like, so yeah, I stole one from her because I was like, you know what? She's not even gonna notice. She's not even gonna notice. Like, ugh, I still feel bad about it. But fuck it, man. If you got 18 pairs of headphones, I'm gonna take your shit. Shit, the headphones I'm using, I stole from a nigga. But, that's neither here nor there, man. He was a dick. He wasn't using them anyway. I mean, let's be real. And And this is how Randall Thompson gets convicted on all counts. That's how it goes. So, before I go, I'm going to take another sip of this beer. And I want to share a recipe with you guys. Let me tell you. This podcast is brought to you by Randall Thompson's patented sweet iced milks. Hey, do you like to drink things? Do you like to drink things that come out of animals? Well, have I got a drink for you. Take a glass, fill it to the brim with ice, then pour milk over it. That's right, iced milk, people. Iced milk. That is exactly what it's all about. Then you take a little bit of sugar and you top it off with a bendy straw. Not one of these fugazi bootleg New Zealander curly straws. I'm talking about a bendy straw. It bends once. You know what I'm talking about? We're all familiar with bendy straws here. I think we are. Let me tell you, a glass of iced milk will do the body good. A lot of people don't know this. Fun facts. But Bruce Lee would wake up in the morning, throw 40,000 punches, 40,000 kicks, and then drink a glass of milk with ice in it. With a bendy straw. Is your girl out of control? Is your husband feeling impotent? Don't get upset. Don't reinforce it. Go the extra mile. Look deep inside your heart and come down to Randall Thompson's milk truck. That's right. They call me Crabmeat, but I'm serving milk. Come on down. I'll get you a nice tall glass of iced sweet milk. My woman said to me the other day, well, I won't say my woman, that's disrespectful. My lady said to me the other day, hey, as a friend and confidant, Randall, why do you advocate so hard for milk? I said, hey, you don't enjoy sweet milks? She said, no, not at all. What you're talking is utter nonsense. It has no curative properties at all. There's no such thing as a curative iced sweet milk. And I said, well, have you ever had chocolate milk? She said, yes. I said, did you enjoy it? And of course, she said, yes. And I said, well, chocolate milk is a sweet milk. You know, people talk about where the milk comes from, cows, goats, chickens, but nobody ever really gets into the depth of the taste of these milks. It doesn't matter where your milk comes from. That's racist. It doesn't matter where the milk comes from. What matters is that the milk is sweet. I am your friend, your partner, your confidant and buddy. I try so hard to do the right thing by all of you. I hope you've been inspired. I hope you enjoy these recipes. I hope you believe in yourselves. And oh my goodness, I just realized I've spilled milk all over my sweatpants. Deadass, everybody. Look up the next show on slamdunkjesus.com. Other than that, there was something I wanted to say. Oh yeah, I remember. I eat ass, nigga.